Welcome to episode 55 of the SNLF podcast, sponsored by New Style Apparel. As you can see, but if you're listening on the podcast audio, you can't actually see. Just me and Mike this evening. Gaz has childcare sicky issues, and the stat man is back from Mexico, but still busy on Mexican time, I think, and wearing his sombrero all around the house with better things to do. Mike, obviously, you were missing last week as you were flying back from the States a day after I was, and I think at one stage we were about 4 hours from each other on the other side of the world.
Yeah, you were happy 50th birthday you had out there, Trevor.
Thanks, a bit late for that, but anyway, carry on.
You know that. But yeah, we were out in America, obviously, doing a bit of work. But back
This
at
nice big Cowboys Cup from the stadium.
Well, that's all right, isn't it?
Not bad, is it?
But who have we got, Trev?
Huh?
Who have we got on tonight?
Who have we got on this evening? Well, we have the guys that seem to make management look easy, having won 17 from 17 played so far in the Southern Combination Premier Division. So tonight we have with us Kevin Green and Alex Gavin from Hayward Heath. How are you, gents?
Yeah, all right, boys. How we doing?
Good, thanks. You good, Alex?
Yeah, all good, thank you. All good, all good.
Now, we were due to have Dan with us as well. Now, Dan apparently is a bit of a guy who works in IT, but he's having a few issues trying to connect, which is kind of ironic.
Shambles. Shambles. It's the only thing he's good at, Trev. It's the only thing he's good at, and he ain't pulled it off.
Oh, I did wonder when I was watching the documentary last night, which we'll come to a bit later. He didn't actually appear in that, so I didn't know whether you guys had actually binned him off or or what had happened.
I think he's bottled it.
Bless him. As I said, you guys are making management look easy with 17 wins from 17 league games so far. And I think, am I right in only just the one defeat against Eastbourne Borough this season? Is that? Oh, and obviously Ashford United. Is that it?
We lost the Roffey and the Peter Bentley as well. So we've had a few cup defeats, but yeah, it's gone pretty well in the league so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, last season, obviously, when you guys came in, slightly, let's say, difficult circumstances. It wasn't probably as easy and plain sailing as you guys wanted it to be, with a bit of a rough start. But it did start to come together. And obviously, this season, it's just absolutely flown. But has it gone even better than you guys anticipated?
I think so. If you said to us at the beginning of the season, like you're going to, come mid-December, you're going to be 17 wins out of 17 games, I wouldn't have believed you, But to be fair to the boys, the consistency levels have been fantastic. They're working incredibly hard in training. They're a good group. They're a tight-knit group, so they're pushing each other as well. So yeah, they've done fantastically well. But it's really early days yet. We haven't won anything. We're not looking at anything other than the next game at the minute.
Now, you guys had some great times at Steyning 2 years ago, especially after Christmas when you put that run together to, win the league and everything. I obviously spoke to you, Kev, last year when you were out of the game, when we met up at Sussex with the absent Dan as well. We were all expecting you guys to just plow on and go and give the Isthmian League a bit of a bash, but can you sort of fill everyone in as to sort of why you stepped aside?
Well, Steyning. Well, to be fair to Steyning, I mean, it was the right decision for me. It was a situation that was going to. I wanted to just move away from management for a bit and needed to spend some time with my family and have a bit of time off. I think people don't realise how much the management can burn you out, and there's a lot of things to deal with. And so it was just the right time for me to step aside and have a little bit of time off. So it was nice going around for that 6 months, 7 months, whatever it was, going around watching some football, talking to people like yourself and just having a bit more of a relaxing time.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things I found speaking to managers when they're out of the game, whether they've been sacked or they've taken their own choice to have a bit of time away. You miss all that when they're full-time managers, you've got school runs and, away trips, you miss a lot of the weekend and that. But family life, balancing that up with football is just as important, I think, just for yourself mentally. Gives you a chance to refresh and reset, and also to get out and see what else is around in the football world, because you don't get a lot of opportunity because you're busy with games and training.
100%. I mean, it's I heard you guys talking about those Wednesday games a few weeks ago, and it would be nice if we could have a Wednesday game a little bit more often for us as managers, because we can get around and have a little look what else is going on, and players and things like that. But as I say, like it's a major commitment, management. I'm lucky enough, I've got a really understanding wife, but I've got 4 kids as well, so it's spending time with them. It's difficult. I was doing a lot of coaching on a Sunday as well, but my wife's kind of put her foot down now, saying, look, Sunday is now family day, I'm not allowed to do anything football related. So it's
Apart from Chelsea.
Apart from Chelsea, if Chelsea are playing, I'll get away with it a little bit, but that's another story.
I thought she put her foot down that afternoon when we were at Sussex about you getting back into management, but obviously you managed to sweet talk her.
Yeah, she's been with me a long time. I've been involved in football a long time. She knows what the score is, so she's good as gold.
Easy to get back in. Alex, I know you had a pretty decent career as well. You spent a lot of time at Steyning as well, where obviously, I know if I remember rightly, you had a head injury that ended up forcing you to retire from playing. Were you always looking to get into the coaching side of things as well when that opportunity arose, and did it come just a little bit quicker than you expected?
Yeah, it definitely came quicker than expected. I had 3 or 4 head injuries that resulted in me being sort of in hospital for days and off work for quite a long time. So when my first couple happened, I was sort of living at home, sort of no responsibilities, not a lot. So if I had a little couple of months out of whatever, it doesn't matter too much. But after a couple and then after the third one happened, and then it was kind of, I had my wife and we were getting a mortgage and I was going up in my career and things like that, sort of your responsibilities change a little bit. So in my head, I knew that if I had another one, it was kind of a big one. It was going to be the end a little bit, but you never expect it to happen, sort of thing. Mm-hmm. So when that one happened, the last one, which was away at Eastbourne Town, it was actually my own player that happened as well. It's just a really accidental clash of heads sort of thing. He was okay. He had a couple of stitches, I think, but that was about it. I ended up having plastic surgery. He was in hospital for a while, and then was off work for about 3 months, and then phased back for a long time after, and had sort of a lot of issues with regards to concussion and post-concussion syndrome, etc. I knew the minute I sort of got home that it was me done, to be honest with you. Mainly because my career was going in one direction. I had the mortgage, I had my wife, my kid was sort of in the way and things like that. And you're just sort of, when you're 19 living at home, it's different then to when you're sort of 27. You just got a different sort of priorities, to be honest with you. And it wasn't easy, don't get me wrong, but I knew it was the right decision, because rightly or wrongly, there's something up there that isn't completely switched on. It happens so often, it must be a reason that there's something that just isn't quite right. So it was the right decision, but it was bloody tough. I won't lie to you.
Yeah, I can imagine. Did you sort of find though that transition as well? Because when you speak to a lot of players that have hung their boots up because they got to that age where they just can't do it anymore, but they find it really tough just being on the sidelines, that they're still kicking every ball, but they can't kick every ball. So how did you kind of find that transformation, especially being a little bit earlier than you wanted as well?
Yeah, still learning, but I tried the just leaving the game alone for a bit, and that didn't work. I managed to stay in 23s for a bit, and that was great. And I tried other little avenues. I tried some scouting and some networking sort of things, and for me, I've always been involved in football. Football is a massive part of my life from little all the way through to the top, to be honest with you. So Mondays through to Sundays, almost 7 days a week, near enough, whether it's playing or watching or even it's five-a-side or whatever it was. When I was playing, it was almost like a full-time sort of thing, if that makes sense. So to do that, to then stop to nothing was sort of, it didn't work for me. It just really didn't work. So it was then trying to find a niche that did work a little bit. And you're still trying to find it. You're still trying to work it out a little bit, if I'm being brutally honest. That buzz you get of playing on a Saturday is different to the buzz you get on the side as well. It is different. It is different.
I'll tell you what, boys, he's still got a bit, by the way, because we had an in-house five-a-side competition last night, and he did all right. He did all right. If it wasn't for the fact that his missus would divorce him and get him involved
she's
again.
Listening now, Kev. So
I know.
I'm probably getting divorced in the morning. I'm not actually playing at all. So yeah, cheers. So, but no, it's tough. You hear it with pro players who have been involved in football all their life that now stop, then get involved in coaching or whatever. Obviously, I wasn't pro at all, but football was still sort of 5, 6, 7 days a week, easily. And I loved it. So to go from that to then stopping entirely was really tough. So you're trying to find your niche. You're trying to stay involved in a way that you can. It is tough. It is tough. I won't lie to you, but I enjoy learning. I enjoy developing. I enjoy working under Kev and others. And yeah, it's good. It's good. I enjoy it. So yeah, I was going to ask you. I've tried nothing. I tried doing nothing, and that's horrendous. So I won't go back to that. I won't go back to that. That's no good for me. So it's just working out what is right. And at the moment, I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, can't complain.
That's good. I was going to ask if you dabble in the training five-a-sides, but Kev's already answered that one for us. So I don't
normally, but it was last night was a bit of a Christmas sort of do. We watched we had a five-a-side as a bit of a laugh and a joke, and we watched the documentary, which I'm sure you'll touch on, and then Jane and Claire,
girls at the club, ladies, a nice Christmas dinner, so it was good.
Nice Christmas dinner as well. So yeah, I don't normally dabble involved in it, but last night all the coaches got involved. It wasn't just me, so but I did cut in on the school one, but I won't talk about that too much.
It's good. I mean, one thing you probably both would have noticed as well, even when you first come in last year into Hayward Heath, was the support you get off the pitch from the fans as well. It's a very well supported club as well. And Kev, obviously, because you live around the area as well, you know that sort of thing as well. It's the kind of thing, though, that when you move up one level, when you go to the Isthmian, even if it's to the Southeast or to the Prem and that, you have to keep building your fan base as well, because that's the big thing that's going to make the money that increases your budget and gives you something as well to sell the club when they know they're going to be playing in front of a few hundred people.
We've spoken about it a few times. We speak about it on the documentary as well. We're really lucky. I think our average gate is about 380 this season, something like that. But we've had 600 plus in for Guernsey. We had 480, I think, for Lingfield. So that we're lucky that the town does get behind what we're trying to do. But obviously, if we're going to go up levels, and that's what the ambition is of the club, you need to be able to sustain that and build it. So I suppose part of the reason for this documentary is to try and spread the word of what we're trying to do and trying to increase the profile of the club and see how far we can take it.
Absolutely. Mike, let's get into the documentary. I did watch it last night in between trying to watch Barnet as well at the same time. And obviously Lingfield have done one as well. And it's starting to become the kind of thing that clubs lower down are using very well to get their name out there.
Yeah, firstly, lads, great season so far. I've been down and seen you a couple of times already. Just before I mention that documentary, a little comment that I got when I come down and saw you in the last game that was there, I think the YM game. Person I came with hadn't seen you before, and he said these don't look like step 5 players, not in the skill, in the physicality of some of your players. Do you know what I mean? The way they work, which I thought was quite interesting. Within there. But before we talk about Josh, I mentioned a couple of your players, please.
Yeah, go on.
Jack Barnes, I've seen that lad,
The bane of my life.
I've seen that lad now in the three, 4 games, and he's a fucking leader. And he's a winner.
Barnsley's proper. He's obviously he's played for me for a few years now. He's the ultimate first name on the team sheet. He's the one that keeps the standards. You know, he's the one that will always be pushing the other players. He's the one that to be fair to him, he's the first one to have a laugh and a joke as well with the boys. You know, but on top of that, he's a talented player. He drives me mental.
Does he?
Oh man, drives me mental. But but I love him. He's a good lad, and he's a top player.
And obviously Schumann as well, another one.
Yeah,
you know,
Shuey's the same as Barnsley, but he don't drive me mental.
Yeah, and they both come
characters.
across.
Yeah,
different
really characters.
Well in the dog. But I wanted to see what that Jack Barnes was like in that change room, and you got a chance to see that, as they did getting to see what you guys are like. I thought, and we'll talk about the heathens now. Firstly, Cloud Surfers, who put it together.
Yeah,
what an absolute professional job they did.
So I don't know if you know the background about.
No, I don't.
So the reason that
Mike,
we started.
Mike put it out yesterday. Did you not read it? You got to do your research.
Mate, I watched it twice.
Mike, it's on our website. We did a whole article about who they are and what they are and all sorts.
Exactly.
Trev's read it. What is it, Trev? Go on, you tell us.
The guy's a producer who's done a lot of work for actually one of my favourite shows I like watching, which is Hunted on Channel 4. Absolutely love that programme. It's brilliant. And obviously what you've got in there, as you put in there, you've got so much from CCTV, running round stuff, and you've got studio stuff as well. So you probably encompass everything in a direction production type thing. Absolutely great guy from the sounds of things, especially doing that. So
yeah, I actually coach his son, which is he comes to our development centre on a Friday night. So he's involved with the club. So it was kind of, when they were interested in doing something, it was a bit of a no-brainer that they kind of come to us to do it. You know, and the job that they've done is unbelievable, really.
How much access did they want, or did you give them all access?
We gave them all access. The one kind of stipulation that I put in is that we're not going to stop it and go back and do something again, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? We're going to manage it as we would on the training session. We manage it as we would on a match day. You know, I've heard of people doing these things where they've like done a team talk, they've gone out and then they've gone, no, we need to redo it and do it like that. So it is kind of 100% what happened in real time. Mainly for, you know, not for any other reason that I didn't want it disrupting our preparation at all. So that was good. And they worked around us, and they were really professional.
I'll tell you the one thing I did like, where Chairman Steve actually got to say his part of the story or give his view. He's took a lot of pelters over the last year.
Yeah, he has. Yeah.
Like you know, like some big time ones, and some of that shit got like proper personal with his family.
You know, social media can be great for a lot of things, but it can also be a real toxic place as well. And the reality is, I mean, all of us were kind of quite calm about the situation, and we kind of made a decision to kind of keep quiet about it, whether that was right or wrong, whatever. You know, we just felt that it wasn't going to make any situation better. Everybody coming out and just having their 10 pence worth, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? So, he's you know, he's a really good guy, really good chairman.
What the club are.
Yeah, mate, honestly, as a chairman, you know, I get on really well with him. I get on really well with his family. You know, he works incredibly hard for the football club. He saved the football club a few years ago. They had a lot of problems, and he was the one that got them out of it. You know, so you know, at the end of the day, his ambition for the club is to go up 1 or 2 divisions, and you know, it's our job to kind of work with him and see if we can make that possible.
And it also gave the proper insight to the pitch or the future of the new pitch. You know, I definitely know that is needed in your area. not only for the community, but also financially to progress as a club. Do you know what I mean? You know, we all love a grass pitch. What is the update on that, lads? Or can't you say at the moment?
The update on that is that the original application included 2 paddle courts to the side where the current 3G is.
Right.
So it currently has the original application of the 2 paddle courts, the 3G plus this stand by the containers along that side. So we went back and forth for quite a while. And a very, very long story short, the paddle courts have now been taken out because of various objections from people in back offices, and it made it very, very difficult. So that's been taken out for now. So the application's gone back in for the 3G and the stand as normal, as we expected. We've gone through a transport report, which has been ratified. So that's all gone back through. So fingers crossed, from our point of view, we've now done everything that we need to do at the moment. We're just waiting to hear back. So we're expecting it quite quickly.
Long story short, we're just waiting for applications, the planning to be consented. Basically, is what we're waiting for now.
Yeah, well, I think it's the right move, the big move, the move that has to happen. You know, but the documentary.
Yeah, we're hoping. We're just hoping. We're hoping the decision date is. Sorry, mate.
Everyone's looked at it. You know, everyone's seen it. You've had massive success in it over this first day. Is this something that you'll continue with for the rest of the year, do you think?
I think that's going to come down to Ed and Charlie, really, from Cloud Surfers. So we'll have a chat with them. I don't know what the situation was. We said we'd do a pilot and see how it's received and what it comes out like. You know, the feedback we've had in the first 24 hours has been pretty positive. But you know, it's down to them whether we kind of move forward with it or not. You know.
I think final thing for me is Munsley comes across funny as fuck in it. He is brilliant. You know, I love him. But
they bounce off each other well, Stephen Munsley, in fairness. Yeah.
It come out great. I hope to see more of it. You know, I hope that they do, and you start going on this run, but you know, you've got some big games coming up over the next month. Well, every game's a big game, but a couple in particular. That's me done, Trev.
Yeah, I think most games are, Mike, to be honest with you. It's real cliche. Real cliche, and it is just a game at a time and a week at a time. You can't think too much further than that, to be honest with you, because you'll end up taking your eye off the ball or something else, which is equally as important as the thing you're trying to plan for. So,
are you looking for any complacency in the squad?
Are we looking for it?
No.
To be fair, mate, we've got a very, very strong squad. We've got 20 players that majority of them could play for every other side in our division, to be honest with you. What that drives is competition for places. What it drives is competition in training. You know, that the players know that if they're not quite at it for whatever reason, or they're not available for whatever reason, there's going to be somebody coming in looking to take their shirt. And you know, we do have a policy of where we try and rotate it round, because we genuinely think that every one of them plays a part and makes a difference to the season. But having that competition does sort of strive them to do the best that they can, sort of thing.
Because in the documentary, you saw the intensity in the training. You know, it looked a cold night out there.
Yeah,
but they were on it. And I mean, I watched that Lloyd Francis running around like a headless chicken. He's a pest, isn't he?
He loves training, to be fair to him.
Yeah,
was that a Saturday or a training?
Probably player like him.
Yeah, no, the training is always, you know, everything we do at Heath is with the ball, and we kind of demand that intensity. So, you know, we very rarely do any sort of fitness stuff where we're running up hills or anything like that. It's all about like intensity with the ball. And if they do the right things with the ball, then they get the fitness work out of that as well. So, you know, they work incredibly hard, to be fair to the boys.
No, yeah.
Funny enough, that leads quite nicely into my next question as well, that I want to ask about, which was strikers. Now, you had Mark Goldson, who's obviously good enough.
I'm glad you asked this.
at step 4 and score goals. You've got Harry Schumann and Charlie Meehan, who can also play through the middle as well. Yeah, Darius Goldsmith come back from injury as well. And then Callum Barlow arrives. And then we think, well, that's not a bad sign either, because he can play at step 3. And then one of the guys who I've got a very, very big amount of time for, Tom Chalet, then rocks up as well. And I'm like, how do you keep all those players happy, especially, I know you say you rotate a little bit, but especially in that top position where most sides just play one up top?
Oh, we play 7 up top, Trev.
Well, that could be why you've scored so many goals and won 17 games on the bounce in the league.
Do you know what though, mate? If you look at the top scorers of the league, we haven't got one player in that top 10.
Nice.
We haven't got one player in the top 10. You know, the goals are shared. You know, not just. Yeah. And to be fair, our top scorer is Jack Barnes.
I was going to say Barnes from the penalty spot, the top goal scorer. That's all I see every week.
Yeah. And when we signed Barlow and then Chalet, and it was coming on these podcasts about we signed a striker and a striker. Goldie hadn't played for a month. He was injured.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
You know, so
I do keep an eye out.
Although we're winning and scoring goals, ahead of signing sort of Barlow and Chalet, we're playing 10s and midfielders as a false 9 or in the 9 position or all sorts of things. So it wasn't just a case of that. We had loads and loads of strikers all fit. When you look into it and delve into it a bit more detail, it was a bit of a different scenario. But obviously, on the outsider's view, we're winning and we're scoring goals and things. So I get what you're saying, but yeah. And plus, you know, if you want to do what we want to do, there's going to be loads of games as well. So you can't play the same 11 week in, week out and expect everyone to perform at 100%. And achieve what we aim to achieve, sort of thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Don't worry. I'll say I do look in and delve and look at like, oh, so-and-so didn't score today, and then you go and look through the team and obviously someone's missing, you know, and you'll get that any level whenever it is. But you know, I had to ask the question. So we can't not finish without mentioning the FA Vars. I mean, for the club to have 9 away ties over the last few years, then get a home tie, and then I did say last week, I think, or the week before, I hope the home hoodoo doesn't actually break it, where you know you've won the away games and that, and you were very close to that actually happening before Flynn Bolton popped up. And I was at Ringmer on Saturday with Gaz, so I was watching the penalty shootout on Twitter before we left in the car. So obviously I was like refreshing, and then like it didn't move for about a minute, and I'm like, come on, what's happened? It must have had 2 penalties by now. And then obviously it come through, you know, with the 4-3 win, and that were a few hearts in mouths there.
To be fair, we, you know, I've got to give a quick shout out to Ted Dow, who's a coach that I've known for many years. He'd been up and watched them 3 or 4 times for us, and we had videos and everything else. We did a preparation, same for every team so we did what we did there. So, and this was the best version of them that came to us on Saturday. So it's fair play to them, first of all. You know, obviously it was their opportunity to go through to the next round, and they really came and they performed. Having said that, we had a lot of chances. And just couldn't score. Got caught from a corner. Obviously equalised. They had a massive chance after we equalised as well. The ball had been pumped forward and Billy Phillips slipped over. So they had a 1v1 and Nathan Stromberg pulled off an unbelievable save to keep it a 1-1. And then obviously the penalties is the penalties. And, you know, it was a bit hard in the mouth, I ain't going to lie. But at the end of the day, all that matters is that we're through to the next round. And, you know, it's obviously a big game now up at Great Yarmouth.
Yeah, that's a massive game.
Yeah, not going to be an easy one either. I used to go on holiday quite a lot through the years up there, so I do keep an eye on what they do, and also Wroxham as well are now 1 division higher. But as we did mention before, and Mike mentioned as well, they got, I think, the oldest stand, or one of the oldest stands in football, which I've been and sat in as well. They got the athletics track round the outside, which I flipping hate at football grounds. I really do. But it's normally a decent pitch up there as well.
What I'm hearing, it's not in its usual condition though. I actually, Yeah, I actually go to Wroxham quite a lot. I'm going there for Christmas this year.
You're 5 weeks out and already talking about the pitch. I love that. 5 weeks out.
So the little inside that I've heard is that the pitch is not as good as it usually is. But again, we we're not looking at Great Yarmouth in any detail yet. We've got Roffey Saturday, and that's the focus at the moment.
You got Roffey twice, haven't you, coming up?
Well, potentially, but they've got to play Oakwood in the quarterfinal of the RUR. So we play the winner of that. So it's potentially twice.
One I'm looking at, though, from a neutral point of view.
I wonder what this is, Mike.
Wonder what this one is. Over Christmas time, you know.
Wick on the 3rd, is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, well, look, it's the Stenning game. That's going to be a massive one. Look.
Just another game, Mike.
Yeah, it is for you guys.
Just another game.
But you know one thing for sure, that game ain't ended 0-0. No way.
Shouldn't do. But can you imagine if it does? We miss Nick Mike for forevermore.
But you do, lads, you're doing great things. Thank you for every time we come up there and see you guys. You know, you're always really welcoming. Good crowd. 17 out of 17. On a big cup run, possibly to Wembley, where I've picked up 5-1 on those lads. So, buzzing for you. But
early days, mate. Very early days.
Yeah, but hey, you take it though, wouldn't you? If you were offered it this time last year.
No, maybe.
And obviously the doc. Make sure everyone tries to get the doc. Cloud Surfers on YouTube, The Heathens. It is well worth watching. It's about 25-26 minutes, isn't it? The pilot.
Yeah. Let us know your feedback as well, because obviously that might impact the decision moving forward as well. If we do another one,
I'll drop him an email. Don't you worry.
We've had a lot of good feedback, but it's mainly from our fans. So might be a little bit biased.
Yeah, wicked. Well, good luck, lads.
Yeah, and you're joining us on the trip to Great Yarmouth, Mike. Is that right?
It's an away day, isn't it? Or away weekend, maybe. The wife has left the room, so maybe.
Are you coming, Trev?
100% I'm going.
Yes, but I've also in Crawley Down Gatwick have also invited
they're
us
still in it as
away
well
for the weekend as well.
Yeah.
So we may get one at one, two at the other. Who knows?
I'm definitely going to Great Yarmouth.
Yeah,
and that
there's a room, a triple room for Trev, Mike, and Lee Penn going.
Really?
I'll be honest. I've already got a room for the Saturday. Yeah, one by the pier, straight up. You know, you can pre-book one just in case. You know what I mean?
Well, can Lee not have a sleeping bag in the corridor? Because he'd be in bed by 10. We don't want to disturb him when we come in, do we?
It should be a great day. I heard you potentially taking a coach up as well.
Yeah, we're looking at coaches. So Claire's done a great job. She's looking at prices and sort of availability and things. So we've gone out to most of our fans to work out what they want to do, to work out what's most favourable. So I think it would be out on a Saturday and back on a Saturday with the coach. But we're just working out on prices and speaking with the majority of the fans as well, and then we'll go from there.
That sounds like a good day out there, an all day on a coach, game in between. Yeah, I might take that and bump off the hotel. But anyway, good luck, lads, and well, may the best team win at Christmas in that other game.
Absolutely. Listen, guys, thanks very much for coming on. Really appreciate your time this evening. And as always, best of luck for the rest of the season.
Yeah, keep doing what you're doing, boys, as well. It's appreciated by everybody.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, it's good. It's good, mate.
Nice one.
Cheers, boys.
Right. Take it easy, lads.
Yeah, guys.
Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.
What, now you and me got to pull the rest of the show off?
I know. There's all these slackers, isn't there? It's like every week there's one slacker or another, isn't there?
Right, so we've both been out to America, mate. We're both on that time zone vibe. Where are we going first?
We'll start with the FA Vars.
Yes.
And results for our side last weekend, off the top of my head, because I don't think I've actually put them on my list. Finished Haywards Heath 1, Berks County 1, with Haywards Heath going through 4-3 on penalties. Eastbourne United went down 3-0 at Whitstable Town, the holders, on Saturday. And on Sunday, Crawley Down Gatwick also went to Whitstable to beat Faversham Strike Force by 2-1. So the draw for the fourth round, which takes place, I think, Saturday the 10th, I think, of January, as pitted, as we said, Haywards Heath are away at Great Yarmouth, and Crawley Down Gatwick head to Cockfosters. So not bad. 2 out of 3 got through. We didn't really expect Eastbourne United to get much joy out of Whitstable, as it showed, but
they were last year's winners, weren't they?
They are last year's winners, yeah.
We were
Whitstable.
there.
So
We were there.
yeah, we were there, yeah. So 2 away ties for our sides in January. But the good thing, though, about the Vase and the Trophy now is that it spreads itself out from month to month. So you can play your game, put it to bed, and then pick it up when you get a little bit closer, rather than we had through August, September, and October. You played a week, missed a week, then you played another week in the Vase, and it was, I don't know, it's all very congested, and now it feels nice and calm and relaxed, doesn't it, to get to Wembley?
Yeah, well, I'm buzzing. Crawley Down Gatwick got through. I'm buzzing for their chairman. Does so many good things for the club, trying to push it forward. What do you know about Cockfosters?
It's around Hertfordshire way. It's the top end of the Piccadilly line, I think it is. They have been step 4 before. They're step 5 at the moment. I'm not sure. I think they're in the flipping league that's around that way. Not the Hellenic. Can't think which league it is around there. But they got through on penalties, I think. Someone I do know from Barnet supporting days does go there quite often, rather than go and watch Barnet these days. So I've not had a look at their league position actually to see where they are. So I don't know if it's very close to where Crawley Down's position is in the league. I know Faversham Strike Force is worse, so that's probably a fairly evenish game. But it's the FA Vase, everyone's
winnable.
Sorry,
winnable.
Yeah, I think it's winnable. Haywards Heath is winnable. On the flip side, it's both winnable for Great Yarmouth and Cockfosters. It is just literally who turns up on that day and does very well. I mean, the worst thing possibly, for Crawley Down Gatwick, it's a fair trip round the M25, but for Haywards going to Yarmouth, if there's a pitch inspection, that's got to be Friday night, before you travel on Saturday. And potentially if either was called off and you've got to go and do it the following Saturday, you get all that anticipation and then it becomes an anticlimax. You just can't tell what's going to happen. So, fingers crossed the weather's going to be good for a couple of weeks around Jan, and both games get played on that Saturday. And, we've got 2 more into, I think, what is then the 5th round, I think, or the quarterfinals. I'm not sure which it is afterwards.
It'll be close to that. But yeah, look, good luck to both teams flying the flag. I'll take both teams a double on the day, I think. Give them a go.
Yeah, I'd fancy both as well. Right, let's go into the National League South. Let me move that over the screen so I still see Mike. Right, results last Saturday. Horsham won 3-1 at Chippenham Town. Eastbourne Borough went down 4-2 at Dorking Wanderers, and Worthing won again 2-1 at Ebbsfleet United. On Tuesday evening, Worthing's game at Weston-super-Mare was postponed because of the weather. This coming weekend is FA Trophy 3rd round day. Horsham head to Hemel Hempstead and Worthing head west to Gloucester City, whilst Eastbourne Borough host Chelmsford City in the National League South. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, Mike, because we've waxed lyrical for weeks about Horsham and Worthing because they keep winning or staying unbeaten. Slightly interesting for Worthing, I think, this weekend in the trophy. Gloucester City, I think, are second to Walton and Hersham in the Southern League Central South, I think, Premier Division. So they're going quite well. They've been National League South and North the last few years before last season, I think it was. So though Worthing are playing well, it's on plastic. Possibly slightly tougher than they might have wanted.
Yeah, but I think at the moment they're flying. They've got some exciting players in there now. They're working towards what Hinch wanted. And look, you can't bet against them at the moment, especially after they turned over Hornchurch the other day. Do you know what I mean? And they really that was a message I felt they sent out there. You know, I felt that he'd had their right team ready and wanted and fancied it. And now look, 3 points off the top with a game in hand. You know, so. But look, I couldn't back against them at the moment. I think they're in a good run of form, and I hope it continues.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's shown though you can still get the odd dicky result with, you know, Torquay rolled over Eastbourne and Worthing in successive games and then lost at home to Tunbridge. So, you know, still shows you can, you know, those unpredictable results are just, you know, absolutely everywhere, aren't they?
Exactly.
You know, I suppose. Right, let's get straight into the Isthmian League Premier Division. Results on Saturday, Burgess Hill Town went down 4-0 at Chatham Town. Chichester City lost 3-0 at home to Cray Valley Paper Mill. Lewis beat Dartford by a goal to nil, and Whitehawk lost 2-1 to Welling United. On Tuesday evening, Chichester City's game at Canvey Island was postponed because of the weather. This coming weekend, it's Friday night football for Whitehawk as they head to Flamingo Park and Cray Wanderers. On Saturday, Burgess Hill Town host Ramsgate, Lewis head to Dulwich Hamlet, and Chichester City head to St Albans. On Tuesday evening, Chichester City host Cheshunt, and Wingate and Finchley are home to Burgess Hill. I must admit, Mike, when I was looking through the results across actually all the divisions, there weren't that many standout results or things that really kind of perked up across any of the divisions. And the only one really I can pick out really was Lewis's late win over Dartford, with Dartford in fourth spot in the playoffs and playing really well. Other than that, there's not been a lot of football as well because of the weather.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at Avonlea, they've only played 17 games.
Yeah, which we know the reason why. Obviously, that. But then if you look a bit further up the table, Avonlea have only played 15 and only lost twice in that 15 game stretch as well.
Yeah, I mean, but folks are still looking good up there. But even if you look at what Burgess Hill were doing, do you think they would have took that where they are now? I reckon they would have bit your hand off.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as I was saying to Gaz last week when you were flying back as well, that 2 wins in that division, and again the same in the southeast as well, from about probably 5th down to about 18th, will push you up about 10 places. But it's stringing those back-to-back wins together, and where you've got a lack of midweek games now, you're just Saturday to Saturday, so you've got to keep the momentum rolling every 7 days.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm looking the way that Burgess Hill, they're scoring goals. Obviously, they had a bit of a tough one at the weekend. But before that, they're putting them away. Where do you think they'll finish this season, Trev?
Burgess Hill? I'd expect them to be around the playoff-ish, a little bit Chichester-esque. And as I said to Gaz last week, I'd heard Jimmy Wild's back on the grass plastic for Chichester, so they can get him fit within the next few weeks and scoring goals. I wouldn't be surprised if they head up the table and finish around about that kind of, little marker. But you know, if you look at Lewis and you look at Whitehall, both have this season shown well. Pardon?
Whitehall doing well. Whitehall doing well.
They were, but like Burgess Hill and Chichester, they've not picked up results, so then they've dropped down the table. It's spinning that back-to-back wins and then adding another one. If they say lose or draw one in the middle, so they've won 3 out of a 4-game spell, it keeps you up there. But if you can't do that, then that is the problem it's causing. And you've got Wellingham picked up 2 wins in a row in that drop zone. Hashtag picked up a 4-0 win at the weekend, and Canvey have also won a couple of games as well. There's new managers in at Potter's Bar, so you've got to keep, while you can see everyone else above you in the table is not too far away, you've got to keep looking down, because if those guys do start spinning back-to-back wins and picking up the odd point here and there instead of losses, all of a sudden you're getting dragged, more towards that relegation zone.
Yeah, I totally agree. With that. But look, as I say, we'll know more, won't we, in a couple of weeks? Fixtures start picking up.
We certainly will, especially over Christmas as well. Right, into the Isthmian South East Division, and results on Saturday. Grinstead Town went down 2-1 at home. 2-1 away to AFC Croydon Athletic. Crowborough Athletic against Faversham Town was postponed. Eastbourne Town went down 1-0 at home to Jersey Bulls. Hastings game with Sevenoaks Town was also postponed. Broadwich Heath lost 2-1 at Mersham. Three Bridges beat Margate by 3-0, and VCD beat Hassocks by 5-2. On Tuesday evening, both games in the Velocity Cup involving Crowborough Athletic and Burgess Hill Town were postponed because of the weather. This coming Saturday, Crowborough head to Beckenham Town, Broadbridge Heath host Ashford United, East Grinstead are at home to Herne Bay, Hassocks at home to Mersham, Hastings United head to Margate, Three Bridges are at Sevenoaks Town, and Sittingbourne host Eastbourne Town. And then on Tuesday evening, rearranged game from the weekend, Hastings United host Sevenoaks Town. Again, with this one, Mike, there wasn't a lot that really stuck out in amongst that lot. Obviously, East Grinstead brought in a couple of experienced signings in Dom Vose and Jordan Maguire-Drew, which played in the game at Croydon. But results certainly didn't go their way, with Beckenham winning on Tuesday evening at VCD, who thumped Hassocks on Saturday by 5-2. You know, they're 10 points just from Beckenham above them and 17 points from the safety line. I mean, you know, I know they've added a couple of players with, you know, the experience as well. Two very good technical players. I did say to Gaz, though, are they the kind of players, though, that will roll their sleeves up in a relegation battle, which Grinstead are, you know, and they, you know, really need to get motoring.
It's looking long. It's looking very long, you know.
It's looking longer than a 3rd and 24, this one.
Yeah. No, it is. Look, that they knew the job that they had ahead of them from where they were going in there, Grant and Andy there. But look, as you say, 17 points now away from that. But they made great signings. Is it a bit too late?
Potentially. You know, at least I suppose on the other side, they've given themselves a bit of a shot in the arm. But you know, we're now, I think they're one game away from being halfway through the season. So we have literally got half a season to go, and you come out the other side of, say, Christmas, you've probably got probably about 3-4 games before the year turns. And the other thing as well is that I'm now expecting Ashford United to pull away from that bottom kind of 4-ish. Now they've changed managers
And got two games on that.
2 games in hand. You've got Hastings are picking up points as well. I mean, Dave probably would have been very frustrated they didn't play at the weekend because Sevenoaks are struggling as well. You know, and then VCD picked up a really good result for them against Hassocks, and then Beckenham go and do that to VCD on Tuesday night as well. It's just asking quite a lot, isn't it? I think
the next 3 or 4 games will determine everything. If they take 7 points out of that, then you give yourself a fighting chance.
Yeah,
you really do. You allow the players who have been put together like that. I know a lot of them knew each other anyway, to see if they can pull it off, you know. And look, there'll be teams that do drop points. There'll be some more shocks, but I think we will know more by the turn of the year, as far as I'm concerned. I really hope they do it. I really, really hope they do it. You know,
absolutely.
But it's starting to look long.
It is, isn't it? Do we start to get a little bit concerned for Hassocks because they're getting dragged into that bottom 6 or 7, shipping 5 against VCD, who are in that bottom 4 as well, you know? But again, if you pick up back-to-back wins, as we said in the Isthmian Prem as well, all of a sudden you're flying around in mid-table and it's not looking quite so bad.
I fully back Hassocks to stay up, 100%. 100%. They've got to be careful, though, because, you know, they could drop 3 or 4 places in one game.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
That is how tight it is there. But look, I think they've got enough. What was their ambitions this year? It was surely to stay up.
I think it would have been, because we know, obviously, they've got a little bit of a budget last year, which they didn't have last year. And again, it is very much, unless you're an AFC Whiteleaf that have got money to burn, you know, you're well supported as well, and that's why they're flying in the top 3 in the league. The same with Faversham, you know. And I think for the likes of Hassocks and VCD as well, their aim would be to finish at least 5th from bottom. That allows them to look at the league for a year, understand what it's all about, know what they need to do differently for next year to make sure they're not in that, that bottom bit. And I think probably looking at the likes of Broadbridge Heath and Eastbourne Town, the way they managed to structure themselves in the first year and then try and do a bit better the second year. And we know he didn't come off for Chris last year and he was quite, frustrated. And this year it's that little bit better, but they're just, Broadbridge Heath just lacking that little bit of consistency every single week. Eastbourne Town are looking reasonably okay again, but they're, Eastbourne Town again, like Crowborough, just that little bit above that Sussex line, but not by much. So it shows that they're maybe not that far away, but just getting that extra bit to, just propel themselves up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now, and it's a proper tight. But I fully expect Sussex to stay up and finish around the mid-table there. But yeah, let's not lie. A couple of defeats, and then there will be alarm bells.
Yeah. No, so that worries is where the sides below them start picking up those points, which puts East Grinstead further away, but also drags everyone else that little bit closer above as well. So one to keep an eye on. Right, into the Isthmian South Central Division. Last Saturday, Littlehampton Town went down 4-0 at home to Binfield, whilst Bognor Regis Town scored a last-minute winner at Met Police. On Saturday, Bognor Regis Town host Bedfont Sports, Hopefully their last game at Chichester City's Oakland Park. And Littlehampton Town head to Egham. Looks on course for Bognor to return on Saturday, the 27th of December at home to Fareham. And with that, Mike, they're at home to Littlehampton on New Year's Day, followed by a home game against Horndean as well. So a three-pronged home game return to Nywood Lane is, could be.
With revitalised fans.
Yeah, well. and those three games could actually be the pivotal point of their season if they pick up 9 from 9.
Yeah, I mean, flying. They've had to wait it out for this pitch. Apparently, it looks beautiful, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
It looks like absolutely top draw. The fans have, they had a torrid season previously. Got behind them. The gaffer's doing bits again. Great coach there. 3 there. Pushing for the playoffs.
If they win those 3, I think that will make the difference, and that will give them that bounce that Chichester had and Three Bridges had when they went back home. Even if they stay unbeaten through those 2 wins and a draw, 1 win and 2 draws, I think still gives them a good platform. But those 3 games,
chance, yeah.
Yeah, and I think those 3 games, if all 3 are at Nywood Lane, which we're expecting them to be, could very well be that difference between. I mean, we've seen a couple of sides around the playoffs struggle with results over the last few weeks as well. So it's there for the taking. They're in a good bit of form, as they have been probably for the last couple of months, really. And when you can go and nick a 1-0 win at side that's in and around you in the table, but also looking at those playoffs as well, bodes pretty well, I think.
I agree. And now look at if they do get to the playoffs or do go up by some chance. They've got the pitch there. The revenue is going to increase. It can only be positive for Bognor Regis Town. Really can.
Absolutely. Right, Southern Combination Premier Division results last weekend. Guernsey beat Little Common by 4-1. Bexhill United beat Forest Row by 3-2. Horsham YM and AFC Bardinians shared a 2-2 draw. Lancing and Seaford Town shared a 1-1 draw. Stenning Town won 2-1 at Lingfield whilst playing at home. New Haven beat Midhurst and Eastbourne by 3-0. Pagham drew 2 each with Peacehaven and Telscombe, and Shoreham went down 5-0 at home to Rothie. On Tuesday evening, the Sussex RUR Cup quarter-final between Rothie and Oakwood was postponed, and the only Premier Division game, Wick went down 3-1 at Eastbourne United. This coming Saturday, Crawley Down Gatwick host Guernsey. AFC Bardinians are at home to New Haven. Lingfield head to Forest Row. Eastbourne United head down to Little Common. Midhurst and Eastbourne host Lancing. Shoreham head to Peacehaven and Telscombe, which is a 2:00 kickoff. Rothie are at home to Haywards Heath Town, but the game has been reversed to Haywards Heath. Seaford
I
Town at
thought
home.
that was a typo. Is that true then? Yeah.
Yeah. Roth's pitch, it does tend to get a little bit nasty this time of year for playing games.
Do one.
Yeah, well, I think there's as well. A bit of the problem is obviously it's lovely with all the trees around, but it doesn't get a lot of ventilation. So when it rains, nothing evaporates. Yeah. Seaford Town are at home to Bexhill United. Stenning Town host Horsham YM, and Wick are at home to Pagham. Then on Tuesday evening, Haywards Heath Town host Crawley Down. Gatwick. Mike, Shoreham picked up a record last weekend, 15th loss in a row, which is the worst in the last 5 years in the Southern Combination Prem. They've conceded 75 goals this year, halfway through the season. They're on course for 150 against at the moment. They may be keeping the score down a little bit, as Ash Ridley wanted to point out last week when they played Stenning. But they're not scoring goals. Yeah, they're not. Yeah, Ashton. They're not scoring goals. And B, the sides around them are just starting to pick up an odd point here and there. That when they start turning into threes, it becomes a bit of a problem.
It's not the record you want.
Not really.
Well, no, it's quite clear. No one wants that. Look, you've got to start picking up some. They know that, but I also know that if it goes south, there's plans in place. Do you know what I mean? And I know that. So,
but should there not be plans in place to try and stay in this division?
Yeah. Is the squad there? I haven't seen enough of the new guys, but it's looking a big arse now they're in that form. And I know you said that. I really thought they could push on. I hope they can. I really hope they can. But as you said, people are taking a little point here, a point there, like Lancing. Lingfield, they will kick on again. I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure about that. Crawley Down and Gatwick. You start looking at the teams above and you start thinking, well, they've got to come good at some point as well. Do you know what I mean? You've got to have a lot of moons to align at the same place to get out of that. But it ain't over. It certainly ain't over.
No, it isn't. Yeah, half a season of football to play. That's what everyone's got, which is a bonus.
And they'll probably have a siege mentality, same as Vardinians, that is literally us against them to try and defy everyone and get everyone, and say, actually, yeah, we did do it. We took a lot of slack,
Absolutely. There's a couple of standout games at the weekend. Obviously, Stenning Town against Horsham YM is one, but also Midhurst and Eastbourne against Lancing. Because of where both sides are in the table, and just based on what we just said with Shoreham as well, if either one picks up 3 points, Midhurst then move further away, so that creates a gap. Lancing pick up the 3 points. There's still going to be a gap between Midhurst and Shoreham, but it moves Lancing that little bit further away.
Who's that?
Midhurst. Like it could be off with this weather, but
both teams fancy it.
Yeah, they will. Yeah,
but not that they fancy it; they have to fancy it. Because those are the kind of games that you have to look at yourself. Like, okay, right. Maybe they don't feel like they got the squad to really push a Hayward, say, for a Stenning or a YM or someone. But when they look at that and think, okay, those are the teams that are in the same positions, they're going to think, right, we've got to go for this. It'll be like a cup game.
Yeah.
There's no way teams going there to take a draw. Don't tell me either of those gaffers are going to that game to take 1 point. And if they do,
absolutely not.
If they do, then
it's Mike sacking territory.
It is. It's worse than a 9-0. There'll be an inquest. There'll be an inquest on that one. No, look.
It is.
Yeah. But apparently they were. I don't know how they were Lancing against Seaford the other day. And that
last minute equalised, wasn't it? 93rd minute, which got a point. And in probably in respect a good point, because Seaford have been in very good form since Wisely came back from Australia. They actually played well while he was out there as well. So they seem
players back, mate.
Yeah, I was going to say they seem to got to grips, with the division. A bit of a derby against Bexhill at the weekend. In effect. So yeah, some good games. And as we mentioned, Steyning against Horsham as well. Steyning 11 wins in a row. Horsham 6 unbeaten. Forget what happened back in August. With that result, that's been and gone. It's in the record books. But
they're both better teams. They're both better teams now.
Oh yes, yeah. Back from that day, yeah. But again, makings of a really good afternoon there. You can easily see that being something like 4-4 or 5-4 or 7-6, should I say 6-7, whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, that's a classic game. That is an absolutely classic game there. That you got people like Bridgman. What's he scored? About 742 goals this season already.
No, off the top of my head, if Glennie's dad's got it right, and if I remember rightly, because I haven't seen it for right, it's either 27 or 28, I think, this season.
I'll tell you, mate. I'll say it right. So he's got 25 there in the league.
In the league, so plus his cup goals as well, be 27 or 28 then. And obviously Dion's into double figures. Joe Ben must be close.
He's quality, isn't he? He is.
Dion. Yeah, too good for step 5.
Yeah, well, he's at the end of the day, both exciting teams, both attacking teams. Can you call it? What are you saying? Should we have a little prediction?
I'll be going to Steyning, wouldn't I, with my mate Hammy. Known him longer than I have, Gilesy, so I'm going to go with my lad and obviously Joe Ben.
Well, I've got to go the other one then, like.
You go the other one. We'll see what comes out on.
It'll be a 5-5 draw.
Yeah, yeah, that's all right. We can shake hands then, can't we? But they don't like ties in the States, do they?
No, they're no, they don't. They don't like ties, but
no.
Look, classic game. Will it have a major effect? Look, whoever wins that, then can kick on again, can't they?
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I bet Kev Green will be sitting there if he picks up his 3 points on the day, going, "Yeah, I'll take a 0-0 in that game." You know what I mean? He's sitting there like that, But yeah, good luck to both teams. But yeah, you go them then, and then it'll be a draw.
Fantastic. Right, Southern Combination Division 1, and last Wednesday, Godalming Town went out of the Southern Combination Cup, which has nothing to do with the Southern Combination League, but there we go, to Guildford City by 3-1. On Saturday, Arundel and Infinity was postponed. Billingshurst beat East Preston by 8-2. Godalming Town won 5-0 at Copthorne. Loxwood and Selsey was postponed. Reigate Priory beat Dorking Wanderers B by 3-0. Ringray AFC beat AFC Uckfield Town by the same score. And Mile Oak beat Saltdean United by 2-0. Worthing United and Jarvis Brook was also postponed. On Tuesday evening, in the Surrey FA Saturday Premier Cup played on a Tuesday, AFC Walcountians drew 0-0 with Knutsborough and went out 5-4 on penalties. As we mentioned earlier, Oakwood's RUR Cup quarter-final at Rothby was postponed. It's coming Saturday. Billingshurst host Infinity. At the moment at Billingshurst, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be moved. So if Ollie's watching, I'm sure he'll pipe up in a second. Copthorne host AFC Walcountians. It's East Preston against Loxwood. Ringmer AFC head to Jarvis Brook. AFC Uckfield Town on the road to Mile Oak. Selsey host Arundel, and Worthing United host Saltdean United. Then on Tuesday evening in the Surrey FA Saturday Premier Cup, Godalming Town host Dorkinians. Mike, you were at Billingshurst against East Preston. Neither you or Lee managed to keep score very well. I think maybe it's just a bit too many goals for the pair of you two to keep an eye on.
Well, there was 10 goals in the game.
Well, there were.
Yeah, and to be fair,
and you both counted 9.
Yeah, well, it would have been a lot less if there was less people at the bar. Believe me,
just put it down to the jet lag, mate. Just put it down to the jet lag.
True. I'll tell you one thing about Billingshurst, though. They are a really good side. Really,
they are, aren't they? Yeah,
really good side. Attacking play. That Ronnie Reeves, he bossed the game. Absolutely bossed the game. Bagged a hat trick. Matt Ards, he got a couple. He was decent. Carter got one as well. Edwards, there was goals all over. East Preston did have a man sent off, but you can't take anything away from that. That it wouldn't have changed it. I don't think they were just relentless the way they attack, and they could have had a couple more. They really could. Really good side to watch. Yeah, they will have to be in the playoffs. Have to, if not, kick on a little bit more. But it will take Mo's boys, I think, to have a couple of off days. Well, then again, I suppose they've got a couple of games in hand as well, haven't they?
Mm. Yeah, I think that takes them within 2 points, does it?
3 points.
3, yeah.
And then saying that, you've got Infinity. We've got an even more game in hand. But going back to Billingshurst, great team. Nice guys as well. Nice guys. Bit weird seeing them this season playing at Worthing. You know, I asked actually Kev Rayner, the EP gaffer, before. I said, you know, do you fancy playing on this kind of like 3G? And he said, obviously, prefer the turf and that. But yeah, EP probably were in the game for about 15, 20 minutes. All in all, cut of discipline problems. A goal that they thought was offside was definitely onside because I was there at the thing. But yeah, Billingshurst thoroughly deserved it, and that they will push to the end, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think I said to couple. I might have said to Gaz last year. The only thing that will stop Billingshurst is their pitch, because just like Arundel's this time of year, it's not great at coping with the weather. So if they can get games on elsewhere, at the likes of Worthing or at Horsham or anywhere along the way, I hope they stay up there, because they were up there last year, and their after postponements though meant saw them drop down the table because they were playing so sporadically. You just don't get any rhythm going. But by the looks of things, you saw as good as I did at Infinity earlier in the year, so they've certainly got enough, to stay up there. Gaz and I went to Ringmer against AFC Upfield, and the weather was absolutely horrendous. It did stop raining.
Derby, isn't it? It's a derby,
Sorry?
isn't it? Derby.
It is a local derby, yeah. Apparently not a lot of love lost between the two sides.
Bit of banter flying around, surely.
Probably. I mean, there was a good crowd as well, 152, I think it was, which was really impressive to see given the weather.
Was it the Caburn?
Yeah, it was at the Caburn, yeah. And the wind probably spoilt it a little bit. I'd say Ringmer just about did enough better with the conditions than Upfield did. Obviously, Ryan Huckle's first game in there, and their 5 new signings, I don't think they all started. But I think he's got a bit of a job on there. They didn't really look like troubling the score too much of the afternoon, and Ringmer scored with a couple of sloppy bits of defending, I would say, from Upfield, really just not getting the ball clear. And I think the third goal, I think it was a really nice finish from what I can remember from Saturday. So I'd say Ringmer deserved the win.
Yeah, the boy Lindsay got a couple, didn't he?
Yeah. He looked very bright, actually. I quite liked him. I think he's one of the ones when I watched him play pre-season against Hayward Heath. There were 2 or 3 players that day that I thought looked quite sharp. But I think it was a win that both sides really needed at this point of the season as well. Now he's had an extra week, Ryan. He'll be looking to make an improvement when they go to Milo. But then Milo had a really good win at Saltdean, who have been in some good form recently, as well. So that won't be an easy one to go there next Saturday as well. But as we've said, still half a season to go for most of them. So
yeah,
time.
I think Tommy will be pleased with where he is. Tommy Adam, from their first season in Step 6 football.
Yeah.
Fantastic facilities, good bunch. They really care. He takes it really seriously, which I love. Check out his Mind of the Gaffer stuff on TikTok. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's good. It is good.
But that was a nice win from Milo over Saltdean.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, like I say, Saltdean have been in some really good form recently under Loz. Still not quite back home yet. So that game was played down at Eastbourne United at the Oval. But yeah, no, a very nice win for them. And again, a bit
in that game as well. It's pretty ironic, isn't it? Because obviously, Saltdean manager had Taylor Harding, who scored the 2 goals. At Shoreham.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
He's ironic, isn't it?
I think Saltdean had a man sent off early doors tonight. I think, if I'm right in saying. Yeah. But
Yeah, very good win.
What are you saying though, Trev? Have your opinions changed yet about this league?
I can't remember. What did I say? I've listened to all the podcasts because it's my fourth best on my Spotify wrap up. No, third best on my Spotify wrap. So I can't remember what I said now.
I mean, I still think Arundel got to get games on.
Yeah. Again, that's going to be there. That's going to be theirs and Billinghurst. But then if Infinity can't, or the same as well, you've got 3 sides that are going to battle it out that can't get a game on, so they're going to be chocker the latter end of the season. If Selsey can get games on, which generally they do down there, they do still have the odd postponement. There's a good chance they'll sneak in. Worthing United had a game off last weekend as well, which which is slightly surprising because you'd expect them to play tucked away in up there. It could be an interesting end to the season where everyone's playing 3 games a week, and who's going to actually
whose squad survives?
Yeah. Literally that. So,
Mo's doing a great job, but he knows that, but you can't call it at the moment.
No, absolutely not. Like I say, Billinghurst win their 2 games in hand. The gap's only 3 points. At the moment it's comfortable. We know, Godalming going to have
Arundel win their games in hand. They're 3 points off the top.
Yeah, exactly. It's nice if it all happens because it makes it so much more exciting. But I think a lot of it depends on the weather more than anything else.
Yeah, and I think you're right.
If it goes right,
you're right.
Right, let's get into step 7 and Southern Combination Division 2 last week. In the Division 2 Challenge Cup quarterfinals, the games at Capel and TD Shipley were both postponed. Harrison Town beat AFC Brighton Rangers by 3-0. In Division 2, Ferring won 5-1 at Bosham. Brighton Electricity beat Rudgwick by 4-3. Alfold won 8-1 at Worthing Town, and Storrington against Russington was postponed. This coming Saturday, Storrington heads to Alfold. AFC Brighton Rangers host Capel. Ferring are at home to TD Shipley. Southwark are at home to Russington. Brighton Electricity head to Upper Beeding, and Howsham Town are away at Worthing Town. In the Mid-Sussex Premier Division last weekend, Balcombe and Hollington United shared a 1-1 draw. Linfield beat Shoreham seconds by 1-0. The games at Punnets Town, Reigate Priory Reserves and Rotherfield were postponed, and Westfield beat French Athletic by 4-0. I didn't put the fixtures in for that one, so we might have to come back to them. In the West Sussex Premier Division last weekend, the Sussex Intermediate Cup home walkover for Battletown against Billingshurst Reserves. The games in the Premier Division at Angmering, Dale United, Harting and Petworth were all postponed. This coming Saturday, Angmering host AFC Fishbourne. Dale United are at home to Billingshurst Reserves. Holbrook Olympic host Wittering United. Petworth are at home to Harting, and TD Shipley Reserves host Horsham Crusaders. Right, that's it. No burger review this week because Gaz didn't have one at Ringmer, and I think he's already done Ringmer this season, so he wasn't going to do.
And they weren't selling burgers at Worthing when I was at the Billingshurst game.
Was the T-bar actually open or no? I don't think it would be. That's a bit like Copthorne.
The bar was open.
Yeah, I think it's the same when Copthorne play at Horsham as well. They don't have the tea hut open. No, I don't think so. No, that's what puts me off going to watch a little bit. If you can't get something to eat, even though you've got to have a Macca's on the way home. No burger review for the entry level Bundesliga. I know he was making burgers on Saturday night though, so he could have come on and told us his own burgers were 10 out of 10, like he says, but none of us have actually ever tasted.
We've got to see a video of that, haven't we? We've got to see a food guy, the most critical burger reviewer in the whole of the South Coast.
Whole of everywhere.
See what his burger's all about. We've got to see him make one, and say, look, and everyone look at that and go, what's that?
Yeah, really. Well, I mean, everyone probably saw my burger from Dallas, which we talked about last week as well. With the size of it and everything. Yeah, absolutely nuts. That was the only burger. That's the smallest burger you could get. It literally came as that. You couldn't have anything out of it. So add the lettuce, the sauce, and everything else in it. You weren't allowed anything to be taken out. You had to have it as it is. Yeah, really nuts. They did do some other stuff as well, but nothing that looked that appealing. And they had chicken tenders and stuff, which my missus had, but
Easy to
yeah,
put
that
on
was kind of it.
weight, so isn't it?
Sorry? Huh?
Easy to put on weight, isn't it, out in the States?
Well, yeah, I mean, like, the size of the cup, if you can sort of like, see that, that's like, that's like the only size cup they did.
Would you see I had that rattlesnake?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Crazy,
that's
isn't it?
nice. Reminded me of a chicken ball. You know those Chinese chicken balls you get?
Mm.
In batter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cactus is lovely, mate. It's like a sweet cucumber.
Oh.
I could survive out in the desert.
I could survive out in America. I might be a bigger size, but I could survive out there. Absolutely. Well, as we mentioned last week, Gaz does want to come and cook in your kitchen. He's going to put 2 alternative menus together, and as you said last week, he's not wanting paying for it or anything like that, but he wants you guys to make the profit out of it. So if you're interested, get in touch with him at the SNLF Food Guy on Twitter. Cook with Food Guy, I love it. He just wants to show, if he, a lot of clubs do have a pretty similar menu as well. So he just wants to change it up a little bit if he can, just do something a little bit different. May work, it may not. Might not be the demographic for your club, but get in touch with him, see what he can do, and he'll stream it as well and everything like that, so everyone can see what's going on. And obviously people are going to be at games, so they can catch up with it later and everything. But get him in there, see what he can do. Mike's been in and flipped a burger or two, and Mike's been behind a bar. So
you know what? I quite enjoyed it. Behind the old burger bar for the diet. But what people might not know about Gareth is he's got previous experience in that kind of trade, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Especially within the supply and food trade. So like what he doesn't know about the deals you can get, which some clubs might not be able to see, Gareth could definitely give you an insight. So, having him down for a day, getting him in that little burger hut or tea hut or whatever you've got, and getting his little menu in there, just seeing how it goes. As you said, it's not costing you guys anything, and he'll stream it. I think it'd be a good laugh, and I think it might be a great insight into what else there is, rather than the entry level bun.
Exactly. And he's even willing to step outside his bubble of little West Sussex. He was in East Sussex with me at Ringmer on the weekend, but clubs from East Sussex, get him down to you, because he needs to get out and about a little bit, because his league table's a little bit West Sussex biased, and I've told him that, so he needs to get out a little bit further and just buy a burger from somewhere else. So get him in your tea hut. Yeah, right. On to the team of the week and the team of the month, sponsored by Singer's Roofing Specialist. The winners for November were Worthing, who polled just over half of the votes cast. Horsham was second, Horsham Wayne were third, and Hastings were in 4th place. And as I said earlier, there weren't many results that jumped out anywhere this weekend, and there were a lot of games postponed as well. So team of the week this week has gone to Billingshurst, because there just isn't anything. Well, there isn't anything that stuck out. I mean, I went through the results this evening, and I'm like, there just isn't anything. There's quite a few of our sides lost. No one picked up memorable wins. I mean, we could have gone for Horsham YM's 2-2 win against the 12 men of AFC Vardinians, but it didn't quite cut it for me. So it's gone to Billingshurst for this week. So there you go. Congratulations to Billingshurst for the first winners of December. Mike, have you got any shout outs?
Well, shout out to Billingshurst for winning that. Congratulations. Not really. No. Not at football on Saturday, unfortunately. Week off. Got a one of my friends' parties to go to. Nice party.
That's not a shout out. That comes out in the where you're going. That's the next section.
No, as I said, I had no shout outs.
No shout outs, right. Well, the only shout out I'll put is our Christmas schedule, which we did put out on Monday evening on X, and we'll stick it out on Facebook as well and try and put a little something on Instagram. So in 2 weeks' time on Monday, we will be hosting a live Dugout Diary. So that will be myself, Mike, and Gaz. We'll have a little bit of a script, nothing too serious along the way, just so it's got some kind of rhythm and go to it. But we want your questions in as well, because it's going to be driven more by you in the comments than it is by us actually behind the camera.
Get in the comments and ask the awkward questions.
Yeah, get them in the evening. Don't do it before, because they'll get lost between now and then. But get those in. So that's on Monday. I'll best get the date right for these, because I've been clocking dates up all the way through. So it's Monday the 22nd at 8 p.m. We'll be here, and that actually is going to wrap up the Dugout Diary series as it is, unless Mike gets an exclusive money breaking offer that he'll come back and do one. So that will be a little bit of an ending to that. We'll then we'll then be live for the main show on Tuesday evening, the 23rd, because we ain't recording on Christmas Eve, because all three of us, including Chris, actually, the four of us have got better things to do on Christmas Eve. So we'll do it on the Tuesday. There are also, at the moment, no games on Tuesday evening. The last one is actually on Monday, when Broadbridge Heath head to Jersey Bulls. Then the following week, again, New Year's Eve is on a Wednesday. So that week we'll be recording on Monday, the 29th. There are, I know, National League games on the 30th, but we'll pick those up the following week as well. So that's the Christmas schedule. So get it in your diary.
Christmas jumpers.
Christmas jumpers and Christmas hats if we can for the Monday.
Can we have Christmas drinks as well?
Christmas drinks. We can have Christmas drinks. Okay. Needs to be like a Bucks Fizz starter, and then whatever you're going to have with your main, and then whatever you do with your pudding.
Bucks Fizz, 10 cans
Prosecco, wine, or then beer. That's what I normally go down for Christmas Day anyway. So make sure you get all your questions in that night on the Monday. Get as many people watching. And again,
just get them in. Bit of banter questions. Have it. No,
absolutely.
Just have a few drinks. Get a few drinks. Ask what you want, and then we'll just have a bit of a laugh. Obviously,
but don't be offended by my replies, and you know who you are. Say no.
It's a no holds barred night. I like it.
Say no more to that one.
If it's no holds barred, it all goes. Anything goes.
Yeah, lend your Dugout Diaries, and of course we'll put the audio out as well for that one, as we normally would the normal podcast. Pardon?
It'd be that bad, that one.
Well, all you got to do is say it's got offensive language in it, and it'd be fine.
Yeah, I suppose Spotify a bit. Let's take it.
We can always cut bits out. We haven't got to put it out exactly how it is.
It's got to be raw, unedited.
Well, let's see if we get banned for it. Right. So you're at no game on Saturday.
No.
Where are you going on?
Where are you?
Tuesday. Saturday. I don't know. I had thoughts of going to Whitehawk at Cray on Friday night. But my missus wants to go to the butcher van that goes into Bognor on a Saturday morning, but it's 6 o'clock in the morning to get a Christmas meat and that.
The what?
The butcher van that goes into Bognor on a Saturday morning by the Pink Pub.
Well, it's like just
it's like a mobile butcher. He goes down to Frome, Bognor, and one other, I think, during the week. So he does two during the week, and he does Bognor on the Saturday morning. But it's like 6 in the morning till about midday, and I'm like, so I may not do that on Friday.
Mate.
Exactly,
a long day going to watch the all day.
Yeah, okay. So Friday night potentially not. Saturday, I don't know. I haven't had a proper look at where to go. Next Tuesday, potentially Haywards Heath against Crawley Down.
Oh, that'd be a good game.
That will be a good game. But also Hastings have got Sevenoaks because they only got rearranged this evening. I've also got friends at Sevenoaks as well. So potentially one of those two, but depends what else comes out on the fixtures as well. I mean, there won't be a lot knocking around in, not just in Sussex, but outside of that. So just all depends if anyone else has got a game going on that I haven't seen yet. I haven't had a look through the rest of the league. So, potentially I may go somewhere else, but
I'll get through this weekend and I'll find someone somewhere.
Someone have me.
Take me, please.
As it goes. Right. If you want to get in touch with us, you can drop us an email, trevor@thesnlf.co.uk or mike@thesnlf.co.uk and Gareth @thesnlf.co.uk. We're on X @the SNLF and Mike's @the SNLF DOD. Is that right? on Twitter as well. Gaz is
The notorious DOD.
yeah. Gaz is at the SNLF Food Guy, and Chris is at Chris_Pryor. He will have a stats show out this month as well. They're just Mike and Chris are working on a date. We're on Facebook, thesnlf.co.uk, the same at Instagram and TikTok as well. I think that's about it, Mike, for this week.
Yeah, it was good to be back.
As it goes. Enjoy your football.
Good and good viewers, really good viewers tonight. Thank you, everyone. Obviously, again, I know we had to move one of the shows around. That's what happens, isn't it? To be fair, when you got people away and that, it's hard to keep it going all the time to have everyone because we all have other lives as well, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably rare though for what we had over the last 3 weeks of 2 people on holiday. Gaz getting late minute tickets to a show. You're obviously not here every now and then because of your travel for business, which we know anyway. But even 380 on a Thursday evening when we know probably a good 50 out of the 56 clubs should have been training that evening if they use 3G services as well, or they do other stuff indoors and that. So again, that wasn't bad, and we've still had over 100 downloads as well when we put the audio out a day later. So not bad at all.
Loads of people watching tonight, so thank you once again. And we will keep doing the thing. And obviously, we've got loads of crazy plans over Christmas and that light-hearted, getting that Christmas spirit. Get the beers out. When you've had enough of the presents, all that shopping and going round, all that aggro and that trees. Oh.
Yeah, jump on the Tuesday or the Monday evening. Simple as that.
Need to have an excuse to get out of that.
Absolutely. Get your football fix in. Right, enjoy football over the next 7 days or so, and we'll be back next Wednesday.
Cheers, guys. Take care. Thank you.